Hello everybody, Ellie here for WhoCulture, and some of you may have noticed over the last weekend, the day of reckoning finally arrived. Doctor Who has been removed from HBO Max. But it's not just HBO Max that it's disappeared from. We're going to get into that. Let's talk about some of the other places that the show has disappeared from. But before I do that, something else was announced over the last few days. Something that I'm not entirely sure has 100% been confirmed, but plenty of outlets have reported on it, and I'm going to run with it because I really want it to be true. And that is, Alex Kingston, River Song, the best character, is going to be a contestant on this year's Strictly Come Dancing. I really hope this is true. I'm very excited about it. Can't say I've sat down and watched Strictly Come Dancing like religiously week after week, but every time a clip of it comes up on Twitter, on TikTok, and it's someone I'm familiar with, I get engrossed and I can't help but keep watching their dances. If Alex Kingston's going to be on it, absolutely going to be tuning in. I haven't really seen her doing dancing in any way, and folks, I've seen her in a lot of things. So I'm really excited to see this side of Alex Kingston. Very excited. I really hope this turns out to be true and not one of those silly rumours. But I doubt it. I think this is the real deal. Very exciting. Anyway, that's not actually what this video is about. It was just me getting a little bit excited. Doctor Who disappearing. Dun dun dun! So as I mentioned, it has now been removed from HBO Max in the US, but it's been actually removed from a lot of other streaming services internationally as well. So here are some examples of that. So in Spain, it is now no longer available on Pluto TV. In France, Amazon Prime, which I'm assuming means, you know, the free version of Amazon Prime, as opposed to you can pay for all sorts of things on Amazon Prime Video as well. It's very confusing, Amazon Prime. But the free subscription service version, no longer available. SBT in Brazil. Canada, same situation, Amazon Prime, again, assuming that's the free streaming. Samsung TV and Rakuten TV in Italy. And of course, the main one that everyone's talking about is HBO Max in the US. So a lot of people have been noting now that there is now no streaming of Doctor Who in their country. No home for streaming Doctor Who in their country. So it kind of appears that at the moment, Doctor Who may have disappeared from international streaming. So what that means basically is the only way to watch it in a lot of these countries now is if you have physical media. Buy physical media, people, this is why it's important, or on services such as Prime, such as Apple TV, where you can buy it. You can pay for video on demand. But in terms of streaming services, subscription streaming services, a lot of countries now no longer have access to Doctor Who. Now, the BBC haven't commented on this situation, and there doesn't seem to be any indication as to when Doctor Who might return to these streaming services, or if it is going to return to these streaming services. And just before I go any further, just to clarify, when I'm talking about Doctor Who disappearing, what I mean is modern Who. So series 1 to 13 has been taken off of these services. I think that the Disney era, Shooty's run, the 60th, I think they will remain on Disney for the time being. I don't think they're going anywhere anytime soon. So they're still available, but in terms of modern Doctor Who, new Who, it's all disappeared. Now, of course, if I haven't mentioned one in that list there, if I haven't mentioned your country and you've noticed that wherever you stream it in your country also now has lost it as well, please do let me know in the comments down below, because it would be really interesting to see just how many places have lost it all of a sudden. So let me know where you're from and what service you would have watched it on in the comments, please. So for this, I think what's really happened is that the deal that was made with HBO is the same deal that's been made with all these other services, and it just so happens that they all expire at the same time. As in, when these deals were originally made, all of them were set to be ending or expiring in August 2025. I don't think this is a case of the BBC going up to SBT in Brazil or Pluto TV in Spain and saying, hey, we want that back now. Before the expiry date. I don't think it's a case of them saying, I think we need to take that back off of you. I don't think that's the situation. This does happen all the time on streaming. You know, shows leave services, new deals are made, it either returns to that service later, or it appears on a new service somewhere else. So I guess if we want to just make a little comment, I don't like to do this to shine a light on those people being negative, but for those of people who are saying, oh, it's been taken off of everywhere because Doctor Who is dead, no. I'm afraid it's just a case of deals have expired, new deals need to be made. The other thing that's interesting here is that none of these deals appear to have been renewed at all. It's not a case of, well, the HBO Max one has expired, but they did renew it for Pluto TV in Spain. All of these deals seem to have been let to expire. Does that make sense? It does feel a little bit like perhaps this is going to be used then as a bargaining chip for looking for a new streamer for the future of Doctor Who. So you can kind of go, hey, if you sign up to make new episodes, you can also have the back catalogue. And if it's a service such as Disney, we'll get to Disney in a second, they have the streaming rights globally. So if it's a case of, oh, we can't stream it in this particular country because Pluto TV have the rights, it's probably better for them to go, we're going to let all of the deals expire globally, internationally, and then we can use this back catalogue as a bargaining chip for whichever streaming service we have, and we don't have any red tape to say, oh yeah, but you can't stream it in this country because it's available to stream internationally, globally, without any red tape. And just to go back to what I was saying earlier, where I don't think it's a case of them going to a service in the middle of their deal and saying we need the show back before the expiration, because surely if that was something they could have done, they would have done that way back when Disney originally set their deal. But the reason that it's only the Disney era that we have on Disney and not the back catalogue is because there was an existing deal with HBO Max, so Disney couldn't acquire that as well. The BBC couldn't offer that because the deal was already in existence. Now here's the thing, let's just put on our tinfoil hats for a second because we do have a little bit of a conspiracy theory. It all does seem very convenient and interesting that all of this has happened just at the end of season 2, when we're now in this time of what the hell's going on. So what if the reason that they only did 2 seasons with Disney is because they knew that those 2 seasons would be up just in time for August 2025, which they knew was when the deals with all of the other streamers for the back catalogue also expired, and they then could renegotiate with Disney with that back catalogue. And the big surprise is going to be, that's the hold-up, folks. It's always going to be Disney, but they were just waiting for all of the other deals to expire so that Disney can now acquire all of the back catalogue and they're going to move forward with season 3. Is it a stretch? Maybe, but it also isn't impossible. It could be quite likely. They could be completely misleading us here. And the wait isn't because they're looking for a new streaming service, it's just because they were waiting for the expiry of all the other deals so that Disney can now have everything and we're moving forward with Disney. Just a theory, putting it out there. Now, what is quite bizarre about this whole situation though, especially if Disney doesn't renew and doesn't take the back catalogue, as I've just suggested might be what's happening. Might be. Let me just highlight might be. But if they don't, then Doctor Who is going to be even more fragmented than it already is right now, because you'll have modern Doctor Who, which is series 1 to 13 on whichever streamer gets the new deal, gets the new rights. Then you'll have the Ncuti Gatwa era of Doctor Who, which presumably will remain on Disney Plus for at least the next year or 2. I don't think they'll be removing that anytime soon. But then you've got Billie Piper Who, the future seasons of Doctor Who are going to be on whatever streamer agrees to create more of Doctor Who, and that doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be the same streamer that acquires the rights for the back catalogue. Are you still with me? I do understand this is quite confusing. I'm even confusing myself as I'm saying it. So then the question is, when could we possibly hear some news about this new deal? So I think the best way to determine that is maybe to look at the history here of what's happened in the past. So let's use modern Doctor Who in the US as an example here. So it left Netflix US in February 2016. That's when it used to be modern Doctor Who, Netflix. Then a deal was made and it was on Amazon by March 2016. Then in 2019, it left Amazon and then it joined HBO Max by spring 2020. The announcement came in 2019, but it took a little while for it to then appear on HBO Max in 2020, which is where it has remained until now. That's quite a speedy turnaround though, to go from Netflix February 2016 straight over to Amazon by March 2016. So in theory, if they're going to be as speedy as it has been in the past, we could hear something as early as September. Again, just me speculating. I actually don't know when we're going to hear something. But it does feel like now that this now that this previous streaming deal is up, that maybe we can start getting some more momentum and deals and conversations can start to be had now that that bargaining chip is available. I would love to be a fly on the wall of the office where these conversations are happening. I'd just love to know the ins and outs of what's going on. And I'd kind of like to know their thoughts on all the speculation we're making, because they must be laughing at us, because we're either bang on the money or we're so far off the mark that it's laughable. And I honestly don't know which one it is at this point. We've had so many theories, one of them's got to be right. Surely one of them's right. But as it stands, we do not know where the back catalogue is going to end up, whether it's going to go back to HBO Max or whether it's going to move somewhere else. Obviously, this is all outside of the UK. In the UK, it's still all on BBC iPlayer. So we're okay in the UK here. But for everybody else, yeah, we don't know where the back catalogue is going to end up. We still don't know where the future of the show is going to end up. We do have a video out called The Future of Doctor Who, and we take a look at all the potential streamers that might pick up the rights and the likelihood of those ones being where Doctor Who ends up. So do check that out if you haven't already. But I want to know your thoughts. What do you think is going on here? Where do you think the rights will end up for the back catalogue? Do you think that's going to be the same place that the future episodes, seasons are going to be as well? It's all a bit of a mess, isn't it? But I do feel like cogs are turning now. The brakes are off a little bit here. The restraints they were under, i.e. other deals with other streamers, now aren't holding them down. So it does feel like hopefully things are going to start moving and we're going to start getting some answers. Please, just need some answers. But yeah, let me know in the comments down below what you think is happening, where you think the back catalogue is going to end up, and where you think the future of the show is going to end up as well. And do you think it's the same place? Or is it two separate places? Let me know in the comments down below. In the meantime, I've been Ellie for WhoCulture, and in the words of Riversong herself, goodbye, sweeties.